So, coming up this weekend in Las Vegas, we've got a naughty little fight in the 154-pound division with Sebastian Fundora defending his WBC and WBO super welterweight titles against Chordale Booker. Both men can bang, both men have been stopped, so this should be an absolute cracker. Get your popcorn ready, this will go off. So the Towering Inferno is 21-1-1 with 13 wins coming via knockout. He stands at 6 foot 5.5 inches, which for a 154-pounder is just insane. He really is the Peter Crouch of boxing. He's got an 80-inch reach, which is just ridiculous. No doubt he's got a 17-inch chopper as well. Last time out, he pulled off a huge upset, defeating Tim Tszyu via a split decision. It was an absolute war, a bloodbath of a fight, highly entertaining scrap. He actually came in as a late replacement for Fundora. Tim Tszyu was meant to be facing Keith Thurman, who had to pull out due to injury. So Fundora took his chance. I mean, he did get a bit lucky in the fight because Tim Tszyu did have a really bad cut that was opened up from an accidental elbow in round 2, but nonetheless, Fundora did what he had to do. He took full advantage of that cut and he jabbed Tim Tszyu's head off. And he applied the pressure well. That's the thing with Fundora. For someone as tall as he is, you'd think he'd utilise his height and his reach and box on the back foot. But he's a very good pressure fighter. He loves coming forward, letting his hands go. And he's certainly not afraid to engage, which unfortunately for him was his undoing against Brian Mendoza when he got knocked out in round 7 in a fight that he was dominating and he was winning clearly. His right hand was low and he threw a lazy left uppercut and paid the ultimate price. So that was a really bad loss for him. And then to go straight into that Tim Tszyu fight and to pull off that upset made it even more impressive. So, fair play to Fundora. He's obviously got a set of cojones on him, and he showed that again against Erickson Lubin in a fight that he dropped Lubin in round 2, but then got dropped in round 7, and then went on to score a 9th round stoppage. So, he's never in a dull scrap, never said no to a fight, and he always leaves it all out in the ring. So, I do love watching Fundora. He is a big favourite this weekend for a reason. I think he is much more skilled than Booker, but we have seen him be hurt before. We have seen him be a bit too brave in fights, so you're never 100% sure that he's going to win. But if he's on it, you got to fancy him strong here, because I do just think the pressure and the quality of Fundora will be way too much for Booker. But nonetheless, I'm sure Chordale will have a good go. He's got a record of 23-1 with 11 wins coming via knockout. Last time out, he stopped Brian Chavez in 3 rounds, dropping him 3 times in a routine victory. He did get stopped in a round against Austin Ammo Williams back in 2022. That was on the undercard of Taylor Serrano 1, which was a really bad loss for Chordale at the time. I think everyone expected that fight to be a lot more competitive than what it was. It was up at middleweight, so I do think Booker is definitely more suited to fighting at 154 pounds. According to Wikipedia, he's got an amateur record of 111 for 19, but they also say that I beat Lomachenko in the amateurs, so take that with a pinch of salt. But he is a good fighter, technically sound, he does the basics well, he doesn't do anything spectacular, but he's got decent power in his hands. So for me, I do think he's got a chance in this. I think he's got to try and work the body. It's not rocket science. Fundora is massive, so you've got a huge target to aim for there. Try and slow him down and try and force a stoppage. But for me, I just can't look past Fundora in this. I think given how good he looked against Tim Tszyu, given the fact that he is so big, he is so awkward, and the fact that Booker is a southpaw is normally a plus for him. That would normally make him the awkward one, but Fundora's even matched him on that. He's also a southpaw. He is there to be hit, like I say. I wouldn't be surprised if Booker dropped Fundora or at least hurt him, but I just don't think it's going to be enough. He's also 5'9", Booker, and I know height's not everything. The bigger they are, the harder they fall and all that, and that's got to give Booker hope, but it's one thing hurting Fundora, it's another thing keeping him down. I mean, Mendoza done a good job of that, but I just don't think Booker's quite on that level. So for me, Fundora will stop Booker late. I think it'll be an entertaining scrap. Normally when it's southpaw meets southpaw, it's quite a dull affair, but given how entertaining Fundora is, I think this will be an absolute war. Let me know what you think as always, guys. Subscribe if you're new. Have a great week. Enjoy the boxing at the weekend, and I will see you all on the next one.